Today we are checking out a live musical medley by XIA Junsu from his 2014 DVD Ballad and Musical Concert with Orchestra Volume 3. This was one of the winners from a poll on Patreon to celebrate 2,000 subs. If you would also like to become a patron and get some exclusive content and benefits, the link is in the description. There's also a link to my full reaction database if you'd like to see every single song that I've covered on the channel. And if you enjoy this Junsu content, I also have a tvxq/jyj playlist on the channel where you can check out other tracks that I've covered from this artist too. Now, the only bit of information I have about this live medley is that this concert took place around Christmas time, I believe, so we may get some holiday classics in this medley, but since it's labeled musical medley, it probably will only contain songs from his musicals. And I have covered quite a few of those songs on the channel already, so I may recognize some of these tracks, but let's see how it goes.
난 시인이 아냐 또 시인처럼 말도 못해 그저 떠오르는 대로 그저 내 마음 가는 그대로 나는 화가도 아냐 빛과 어둠 아름다움도 그려내지는 못해 난 꿈속에서만 희망 그리지 난 배우도 아냐 난 연기할 줄 몰라 난 가식 없이 살고 싶어 있는 그대로 있는 내 모습 보이기를 원하네 이런 나의 모습을 나는 창조 나는 단조 나는 화음 나는 멜로디 나의 단어 나의 문장 나의 느낌 나의 리듬 악속 나는 박자 나는 쉼표 나는 하모니 난 포르테 난 피아노 중간 판타지 나는 난
I think that's the first song done. I really liked this beginning song. I've never heard it. I don't know the name of the song or which musical it's from, so help me out here. Unsurprisingly, he sounds amazing. So much control, emotion, expressiveness, so much relaxation also, so much confidence. This is an artist who is completely in his element and enjoying himself and is in full control over the performance and the audience. I love how the song opened with a sort of glockenspiel music box-esque type pattern. And it is sort of a Christmassy sound, that sound in the background. Very cute, very ethereal, and it gives his voice a lot of room to shine. I also really love how the chorus of this song is pretty catchy. That's a really strong vocal line. This is a technique that I also use in my own vocal writing a lot, which is using contrasting lengths of notes to create catchiness. In this situation, we're contrasting the short notes he's using with the long notes. You know, that long note there at the end has impact because all of the notes before it were so short. And it creates this really weird, striking sensation of, you know, we're being pulled in and then and there's the release. Very good songwriting. It just makes that melody, that chorus, very memorable. And a similar technique employed there. The 4 long notes were obviously shorter than one huge long note there at the end, but it's still the same principle. You can see how the first part of the phrase is much faster, and then the second part of the phrase is much slower. Love that kind of stuff. And in that sense, sometimes I feel like songwriting can be explained in mathematical terms a lot because it is a science in that way. You know, there's that magic that comes from the science that we experience. But at the end of the day, as songwriters and composers, we really have to get in the lab and experiment to see what equations and combinations can create the coolest, most magical moments. Let's continue.
중간 판타지 난
And I love that little sad chord at the end.
콘스탄체 어디 있는 거야? 눈을 감아도 보여 그녀는 나만의 천사 넌 어느 별에서 와 어느새 내게 내려온 거니 넌 내 마음 깊은 곳 모두 다 이해해주는 천사야 내 감정 절대 거짓 아냐 사랑하고 있다면 알 수가 있어 난 너를 처음 본 순간 마법에 걸린 듯 하늘 높이 올라 구름 위로 날아가 그대 맘을 위해서 살겠어 내가 어머니의 거울이면 좋겠어요 날 바라볼 테니 말을 걸어줄 테니까 그럴 테니까 어머님 안아준 적 없죠 벗어날 수 없어요 병들고 지친 인생 모든 게 고통이죠 죽어가는 답답한 세상 더 늙기 전에 아버지에게 내 얘기를 해줘요
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. I think we might have actually covered two songs during that little segment. There was the slower one, and then there was the one we just experienced, which was a little bit of a faster tempo. There was some drums in there. His performance is outstanding. Definitely moved me. I got quite emotional there, especially during the slower song. And I think that slower song there might be my favorite track in this medley so far. Let's just go back and appreciate it there for a second. By the way, the stage production of this show is really beautiful. I love the graphics, the lighting. His look seems quite inspired by Dracula, I'd say. And I guess it's cool that we have those white lines on his jacket to help him stand out to the audience.
내려온 거니 넌 내 마음 깊은 곳
You hear those low strings and the cellos in contrast with his voice, again, giving his voice all the space it needs. I love that little key change there. What a smooth transition. I love that kind of lift in a song. What a cinematic melody. I absolutely love this song. Let me know what song this is and which musical it's from. As for the second song here,
벗어날 수 없어요 병들고 지친 인생 모든 게 고통이죠 죽어가는 답답한 세상
This song isn't as interesting to me, but what is fun about this song is the high belting, the range he's displaying, the impact of his voice. So in this song, I'm preferring his vocal performance despite what I perceive to be one of the weaker songs, or the weakest song out of the three we've heard so far. And I know this intro. We're entering, I believe this song is The Shadows Grow Longer from Elizabeth. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that's what we have here.
무너지는 이 세상을 지켜만 보고 있겠나 미래의
Let me just double check that. I just want to make sure I have this right. I know I've covered this song on the channel because that little harpsichord motif at the beginning is very memorable and recognizable. Yes, I got that right. Just double checked it. Okay, I'm proud of myself. Let's just go back a little bit.
지켜만 보고 있겠나 미래의 황제 폐하가 그게 날 미치게 해 길어지는 그림자 인간은 절대 볼 수 없지 망설일 시간 없어 지나치고 후회만 할 뿐 세상을 없는 어두운 세상에 정말 그 끝에 서 있네 이제부터 나
I'm not going to speak too much on this song as I did an entire video about it. You can check that in the tvxq/JYJ playlist. But I will say that this song has grown on me a bit. The comments I had on it in my initial video were a little bit more lukewarm, but you know, it's a tale as old as time, right? You hear a song for the first time, you don't really connect to it, but then the more you hear it, the more the melody sinks in and you understand what the song is going for more, and it just becomes more natural. So I do think this song is quite strong and his performance of it is amazing. I'm really impressed that he can incorporate so much grit in his voice without tiring himself out. And I saw a comment that was left on my reaction to his Killing Voice performance recently, and this person said that he has no formal vocal training. Now, I'm sure that's true to an extent. I find it hard to believe that he would have no coaching or training of the sort, but it is possible that he doesn't have classical training. That would still be surprising to me since his technique is so flawless. Really is able to just pick whatever color he chooses from his vocal repertoire on demand, seemingly with no effort at all. It's amazing stuff. Let's continue.
이제부터 난 맘대로 춤을 출 거야 시간 장소 음악까지 모두 내가 결정해 이제부터 난 마음껏 자유롭게 춤을 출 거야 나만의 춤을 너의 시선 안에서
That song was cute. The melody was nice. It's not a song that stands out to me in this medley too much. The string pattern in this one was really lovely. I love how, again, we're giving a lot of room to his voice, but it's in the opposite direction. In the previous songs, the instrumental was quite low with the cellos, but in this one, we were giving room to his voice by keeping the string melody, the string pattern up very, very high. Very beautiful arrangements in this medley, I have to say.
속 날겐 꺾이지 않아 내 삶은 내가 선택해 새장 속 새처럼 살아갈 수는 없어 난 이제 내 삶을 원하는 대로 살래 난 나를 저 높은 성벽을 넘어서 아무도 가보지 못한 그곳으로 저 세상을 향해서 날아보.
Okay, I think that was one song. It was a little harder to tell because it was broken up into a purely symphonic section and then the section where we kicked into the drums, but I believe it was one song. This was a really lovely tune. The songwriting style in this one wasn't as catchy. You could see that a lot of the notes were the same length. It was a very beautiful flowing melody, but it's the kind of song that you might need a few more listens to really grow on you. I could tell that the lyrics mattered a lot in this one. The story mattered a lot in this particular song. At least that's what I got from it. This song sounds a lot like Frank Wildhorn's style of composition. Let me know if he composed this song, because I always found his style to not be that catchy, but it's good music in terms of evoking the story that's being told. I really enjoyed the detail with the horns at the end too. Horns are something that I want to start incorporating into my own music because the feeling that they evoke is so special and it can't really be replicated with strings or anything else.
가까이 갈수록 멀어지는 느낌 내 목소리 절대 듣지 않아 더욱 알 수 없는 것은 아버지 떠나버린 이유 난 다른 사람 될 수 없어 난 그렇게 될 수 없어 아파지기가 원한 사람보다 그냥 내 곁에 있어 절대 다시 천재로 살진 않아 어린 시절처럼 나 사는 동안 그저 그 귀여운 하나이 기억 속에 간직할래 돌아가진 않아 계속 나의 길을 가고 싶어 불안하는 건 의미 없어 이해하고 사랑해 주지 않나요 왜 사랑해 주지 않나요 사랑해줘요 내 모습 그대로
I mean, wow. What can I say? One funny thought that came to mind actually during that final song is I feel like this is such a spoiler. Obviously, that final song must be a sort of climactic tune from one of the musicals. And if you haven't seen that musical, it sounds like the lyrics might spoil the story a little bit because it sounds like it's like the last song. But of course, a beautiful composition, beautiful build with the drums, his voice. I love the incorporation of the choir there at the end. I would love to have heard the choir during some of the other tracks in this medley. At the same time, the fact that they left the choir till last gives the choir a lot more impact. And I love how they didn't overpower his voice. Everything was very well balanced. He was in character the whole time. Really heartfelt performance. The timing was on point. I especially enjoyed this part here.
아버지 떠나버린 이유 난 다른 사람 될 수 없어 난 그렇게 될 수 없어 아파질 영원한 삶보다 그냥 내 옆에 있어
How sick is that? That part is so intense, so chaotic, with the sort of offbeat drums giving us those stabs. Junsu going off in this hardcore rock voice. Really cool moment, actually. Very soulful. And you know, I always say this as a metal fan, I love those heavier, more intense moments. And I was a little disappointed that it transitioned into such a pleasant section.
영원한 삶보다 그냥 내 옆에 있어 절대 다시
You know, the tension is kind of dissipated there, but to me, I would love to have gone into a more intense, heavier breakdown of sorts, maybe a faster tempo song. That's just purely my own taste, though. This final song, of course, was still really beautiful. It's a ballad. It's in the DVD title, so we're here for ballads. We're not here for fast, screaming heavy metal tracks, although that was a beautiful taste of metal that I got from his voice in those few seconds. That about concludes my analysis of XIA Junsu's musical medley. Do please let me know the names of each of these songs and which musicals they're from, especially my favorites that I picked out. Once again, it's so enjoyable to cover Junsu. Could this be my favorite Junsu performance yet? Possibly. I always feel like he's outdoing himself whenever I react to him, and I just love that. Do check out Patreon for exclusive TVXQ and JYJ content, as well as my reaction database link and the TVXQ JYJ playlist. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks so much and take care.